Commander Zix Thara adjusted her 4 optical sensors as she observed the human soldiers through her reconnaissance display. After decades of studying warfare across 17 different species, she considered herself an expert on military technology. But what she was witnessing on the battlefield below defied all logic. "This cannot be correct," she muttered in her native Keltharian, her translator automatically converting her words for the junior officer beside her. "Run another scan of their defensive equipment." The younger Keltharian, Operative Nixvel, manipulated the controls with his tentacles. "Confirmed, Commander. The humans are wearing metal plates. Crude iron alloy composites, approximately 12 millimeters thick, covering roughly 60% of their torso and limbs." Zix Thara's head crest flattened in disbelief. In an age where the Galactic Council employed energy shields, molecular barriers, and quantum dispersal fields, humanity had chosen to strap metal sheets to their bodies. It was like watching a species arm themselves with clubs while their enemies wielded plasma cannons. "Perhaps they're primitives," Nixvel suggested. "Recent inductees to spacefaring civilization?" "Negative." Zix Thara pulled up the humans' technological assessment. "They've developed faster-than-light travel, artificial intelligence, and antimatter weapons. They're not primitive, they're inexplicable." On the battlefield, the joint training exercise between human forces and the Keltharian Defense Corps was about to begin. The scenario was simple. The humans would assault a fortified position while Zix Thara's people defended it using standard council weaponry, particle beams, plasma rifles, and sonic disruptors. "Initiate combat simulation," Zix Thara commanded, expecting to witness the swift defeat of these strangely armored humans. The first wave of particle beams lanced across the battlefield. Zix Thara watched through her scopes, waiting for the humans to activate their defensive systems. Instead, they simply ran forward. The coherent energy struck their primitive armor and, what in the void of space? Zix Thara's crest shot upright. The particle beams, designed to molecularly disassemble any material they contacted, were dissipating against the crude metal plates, not deflecting or being absorbed by sophisticated countermeasures, but simply stopping. The humans continued their advance, seemingly unbothered by weapons that should have reduced them to component atoms. "Commander?" Nixvel's voice carried a note of panic. "Our plasma rifles are having similar issues. The superheated matter is cooling instantly upon contact with their armor. Temperature readings show the metal isn't even getting warm." Zix Thara watched in growing bewilderment, as sonic disruptors, weapons that could shatter crystalline armor through harmonic resonance, produced nothing more than faint, ringing sounds when they struck the human soldiers. The humans actually seemed annoyed by the noise rather than incapacitated. "Sir." One of the human soldiers had reached their command position. He removed his helmet, revealing the peculiar mammalian features of his species. "Sergeant Martinez, 3rd Terran Infantry. I think there might be something wrong with your weapon systems." "Wrong with our weapons?" Zix Thara's translator struggled with her indignation. "Sergeant, your armor appears to be violating several fundamental laws of physics. Our sensors indicate it's composed of simple ferrous metals, yet it's negating our most advanced weapons." Martinez looked down at his breastplate and shrugged. "Oh, this old thing? Yeah, it's just steel. Well, steel with a few modifications." "Modifications? Nothing fancy. We just got tired of aliens always using these overcomplicated energy weapons, so our engineers figured out how to make matter that doesn't really want to be affected by energy manipulation. Turns out if you're stubborn enough about the atomic structure, particles just kind of bounce off." Zix Thara felt her worldview cracking. That's not how physics works." "Says who?" Martinez grinned. "Look, every species we've met has these amazing energy shields and quantum barriers and fancy defensive systems. But you know what all that advanced tech has in common? It's designed to be smart. It responds to input, adapts to threats, processes information." He tapped his chest plate with a gloved knuckle. This is dumb. Magnificently, perfectly dumb. It doesn't process anything. It doesn't adapt. It doesn't even acknowledge that your weapons exist. It's just there, being stubborn. But the engineering required to create matter that simply ignores energy-based attacks. Oh, that part was actually pretty easy once we figured out the philosophical approach. See, most species try to build smart armor that can counter smart weapons. We went the other direction. We built armor so stupid that smart weapons can't figure out how to hurt it. Nixavel interjected. But surely there must be some weakness, some vulnerability we can exploit? Martinez nodded enthusiastically. Oh, absolutely. Throw a rock at me hard enough and I'll go down like a sack of potatoes. Physical kinetic energy works great. It's just all this fancy particle beam stuff that doesn't know what to do with truly stupid matter. Zixathera stared at the human soldier, then at her sophisticated sensor arrays, then back at Martinez. So your strategy for dealing with advanced civilizations is to be deliberately primitive? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds silly, Martinez chuckled. But hey, it works. Sometimes the best answer to overthinking is underthinking. We call it the dumb rock protocol. If cavemen could break it by hitting it with rocks, then our armor better be able to tank anything more complicated than that. As the implications sank in, Zixathera realized humanity had achieved something remarkable. While every other species had engaged in an arms race of increasing sophistication, humans had simply stepped sideways and embraced strategic stupidity. They'd created a defensive system so elegantly simple that complex attacks couldn't find a way to interface with it. Remarkable, she finally admitted, and terrifying. Your species has weaponized ignorance. Hey now, Martinez protested good-naturedly. We're not ignorant. We're selectively stupid. There's a difference. We know exactly how dumb to be, and we're very smart about being that dumb. Zixathera updated her species assessment of humanity. Next to their entry, she added a new note. Dangerously clever. Approach with caution and perhaps a very large hammer.